Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. Happy Wednesday! It is live stream day. Super happy to be talking about Bitcoin and what we're doing and where we're headed, what's going on. Namik's jumping the gun. He knows how this works. I'm going to go ahead and pick someone to give $25 to, but not yet. We'll do it halfway through the stream. But boss, what's up? You know, it's our crazy emotional Wednesday. It hasn't been as emotional as I would have expected. We had Jerome Powell speaking, and everyone's worried about the next rate hike. But if you look at the markets don't care. And it's awesome. Okay. Hello, Philip. Nice to have you join. Everyone's getting trigger happy with the Ethereum addresses. All right, we will let's go for a bit. During the stream, I'm gonna give you the go signal, and then the first person to put in their Ethereum address will get the $25 for today. But not until I do it. All right, yeah. Remind me, Philip, to look at Cadena and Flux after we get a little bit further. All right, this is what we're looking at, guys. This is our monthly chart. We have 2 days and 6 hours left on June. And the things that when you look at a chart, you're always looking for the most obvious place of resistance or support. And at this point, the most obvious would be the 20. Our 20 month moving average is sitting at 29,912. Just below 30. In 2 days, we are likely to either close right near there, right on it. It should be pretty close. I wouldn't expect us to move too far in the next 2 days, and it's because of that. These major averages, they love to stop on the average and then do a brand new candle to start above. But I kind of wanted to show you something that is pretty cool. I have this trading strategy that I really like, and it's watching the RSI. And if the RSI ever gets above 55, that's usually my signal that we are in a pretty strong bull market. And I just wanted to kind of go through. Here we were in a bear market, and we were trying to get out. Our RSI down here was 48, 45, 50, 54. Right here, it was this month here that we ended up with an RSI higher than 55. And so this was a $429 entry point. We pulled back the next month, but really that ended up being a pretty awesome place to enter this market. And we never went below 50 ever, since that point. So this was just a beautiful run all the way to the top. And then the first time we ever dropped below 50 would have been here. Yeah, the total bottom. So this kind of resets us, and then we're looking for that same event to happen. But yeah, in this case, we ended up above the 50 right here, and it was kind of a pretty good indication that we were on our way. So what's interesting about this is remember last 4-year cycle, we'd gotten a little bit hot, and we really got going way too fast, way too early, and we kind of paid for it. And so you can kind of see our RSI was 51, and then it went all the way up to 60, and then 65, and then we came back quite a bit. Over here, it wasn't until, yeah, we didn't crack 50, 55 until here. And so we had kind of slowly, gently moved up, and then we moved off the ground. Well, I kind of wanted to show you where we've been. Currently, yeah, our first move below 50 was actually right here. And then we really dropped hard. 41, 43, 42, 41. These are all really, really, really low. And I think our lowest point was 40, and it was right here. Yeah, 40.34. And then this move got us back up into a better place. This one was a 46, and then 50. So we finally cracked 50. But you know what we're looking for is we're looking for an RSI above 55. And so here, 51, back to 49. This month we're currently at 52. So even with this month, we're still not fully mature to the point where we are doing, we're not showing a signal that we're really overheated. So we came off the bottom here when we finally hit 55, and it was sort of at our kind of our overheated point. But still, we went sideways for a few months, and then full bull market, we were out of here. This one, we were way too hot. Like we hit 55 like way early. But our market structure has been so careful and so cautious this time around that we are still not even above 55 yet this entire bull market cycle. So what does that tell you? That means that we're super early in this move. Super early. We probably need at least one or two more months before we actually hit that 55 mark. And boy, could a lot happen in that period of time. So just wanted to bring your attention to the fact that we are going up very carefully, very judiciously, very thoughtfully. Our support and resistance is really, really well intact. It is awesome. Tahab, welcome. Cool. Got some new faces in here, which is awesome. All right, so okay, so let's go back. Our weekly is going to close 4 days, so this isn't quite ready. But you can see that at the end of our week, we had a huge push, and we have not done an immediate retraction. So there's a ton of strength in this market, a lot of strength, and I'm really loving it. Hey, Barbarian, nice to see you too. But yeah, we have this beautiful cup and handle. We've talked about that. We just need whatever, a couple of weeks, whatever it's going to take for us to get this market comfortable for another push. We're probably not going to see an immediate push after a huge candle like this, which is totally fine. As long as we can retain some of that momentum, we're golden. So let's go back to the daily. On the daily, let me look over here. So this line here was our prior highest close, and it was right over here. Our week closed exactly on this line. Now we're starting a new week, and we're kind of splitting it. We're kind of up and down, kind of all over the place on this line. But this doesn't really tell the story. The 4 hour is what really is telling the story. So look at this 4 hour chart. We've been on the 4 hour long enough. We've been ranging up here long enough that our 50 is in vicinity. So our 50 is here. But what do I like to look for when we're on at the top of a big move? I'm looking for weakness that doesn't completely blow up in our face. So this is what I'm trying to get at. We had our blow off top here, and we are sloping down like this. And then, let's see, I could probably just use one of these wicks. All I'm looking for is the most candle bodies I can possibly get, and I'll capture anything else that crossed this line as well. So, what does this look like? if we were going slow, because this is a very slow move, we're slowly moving back. If we were slowly moving up, I'd be very nervous. I'd be getting very, very uncomfortable if we were slowly moving up at the top of a move like this. But lucky for us, we're slowly moving back. Now, does that mean we'll stay in this channel? Not necessarily. There's probably a pullback of some kind. So Taha was asking, do you think one dump is required to move up? And the answer to that question is probably yes. But it's not completely necessary. I mean, this thing can go. I mean, we're definitely at the boiling point where we've got our cup and handle complete. We really need to, you know, it's very, very possible that we could really explode. But in the meantime, while we're kind of waiting for things to simmer down, we want to be sloping downwards. So I really like this. If we can do this for as long as possible without a complete fear meltdown, that's even better. But if we eventually need to pull back a little bit, that's still okay. The end goal is we want to stay at about above the 50% mark of this move. So if I just pull this over, our 50% arrow is sitting around at like 28,000. So if we can stay above 28,000, this is still a bullish structure. Ideally, we'd want to be in the top third or something even, you know, much, much better. And that range you can see pretty easily right here. It's this section here. If we could possibly, I mean, this is probably the top quarter, not even the top half, but anything in this area is golden. So if we kind of hang out in this area for as long as we need to, and even if we were slightly pulling back as we were ranging in this area, we'd really be looking good. Taha says there's a head and shoulder on the 4 hours. There is, if you kind of go at an angle. I think this is what you're pointing at. So this could be a head and shoulders with a confirmation of breakdown to the bottom. I mean, there's a case for that. But yeah, I just really feel like there's a lot of strength in this market, which the true test is what happens when we exit the green zone. Because when we exit the green zone, that's when we start seeing whatever pullback happen. And on the 4 hour, we have not exited from green to yellow yet. So that is definitely going to be our first real test of how strong this market is. I mean, I'm amazed we ranged so high. Like normally we would have pulled back much earlier, but this is pretty incredible. On the 1 hour though, we did exit. We exited the green zone here, and normally you'd have a much stronger pullback, but we did not get it. We pulled back a little, and it wasn't very intense. And then we returned up and exited the yellow zone to the white. And most recently, we're back below. So on the 1 hour, what I'm watching for is this the 200. How is the 200 going to interact with us? Because we've been here long enough that the 200 is right nearby, and there is a potential for a death cross if our 50 crosses below the 200. So I'm betting this death cross is sort of the ultimate test for the 1 hour. So the 1 hour chart is going to mature and potentially have a death cross, and we'll just see what that looks like. The 4 hour has this 50 period moving average that's coming up tight, and we'll see how we interact once we lose that line. So between those two, that'll be kind of the first big test. But in my opinion, I just feel like where we have this incredible cup and handle formation, any pullbacks are probably not going to be that devastating. They're probably going to be, you know, if we pull back and stay in the top half of this candle, we're really, really setting up for a breakout. This line, when it breaks, and remember, this is a 2.5-year-old line. If this 2.5-year-old line breaks, it is going to be a rocket ship. And we'll probably get too overheated, and it'll probably, you know, I'll probably start getting nervous. But this is really cool. I mean, this is going to be, this is definitely the chart to be watching, and this is on the weekly, so these things take time. It could be a couple of weeks, it could be a couple of months, but whenever we cross this resistance line here, believe me, it's going to be explosive. These are the big moves right here. Let's see, do you believe in harmonic patterns? If yes, that pattern is being formed. I haven't really done much with those, so I guess I can't really speak to that as an expert. I've never really watched those very closely. Barbarian says, can you explain what the ORDI token does for Bitcoin? Is Ordinals just a protocol on the Bitcoin, or is the actual token needed too? I don't know a ton about it. All I know is that Ordinals are an NFT based on Bitcoin, and I assume that ORDI is a token. So just the same way Ethereum has a lot of tokens that are built on the back of it, I'm sure that that's a token that rides on the back of Bitcoin. Bitcoin was never designed to be a coin with anything complicated as far as smart contracts goes, because it's, you know, when it settles every 10 minutes and the variation is high. There are times when it goes 20 or even half an hour before a confirmation goes through, and it's painful. If you need a transaction to go through and it takes 25 minutes or something, or a half an hour to find a block, man, I mean, it's kind of a killer. Especially if you sent a lot of money or something and you're waiting for that confirmation and you're just staring at the computer for half an hour. It can be nerve-wracking. A lot of newbies have experienced that. So yeah, I mean, I never really got into it too much. I wasn't too interested in all of that, just because a lot of that stuff is noise. The purpose of it is that they're trying to, you know, test all kinds of things, and maybe someday there'll be a real life application that can come out of it, but it's hard to say that that would be very practical on Bitcoin. I think it's sort of a money grab. I feel like people create things like that to become popular and to dump their stuff on people and make a bunch of money. So I'm kind of not in that zoo. So, all right, there's a couple of things. It took 6 hours for confirmation when they were made. Yeah, I don't know why it would have taken that long, but that's insane. Okay, so anyway, that's a pretty good rundown on Bitcoin. We're really watching this monthly because it's very close. And we are about to print a bullish engulfing. We have support off the 50. We will probably close as resistance on the 20, but that's a perfect landing spot, because when you land on a resistance like this, that's when you can start a new candle and break out above it. So I would expect this to be a positive thing if we close right around 30,000. The last time we touched the 20 was April of 2022. So it's been more than a year since we've interacted with the monthly 20 period moving average. And it is awesome. It is awesome that we're here. The last time, let's see, I guess we've mostly, let me go to a little higher. Yeah, when we start interacting with the 20, we're kind of in it's kind of bad news. Yeah, our first, we are our first bull trap. Once we hit the 20, we knew we were in trouble and we sunk down. This 20 was at $400 and we ended up with a low of like 150, 160. But once we get above the 20, that was essentially our liftoff point. And then it was a close at or below. You know, once we start interacting with this 20, that's when we're in trouble again. 6,000 down to 3,000. This candle was interesting because this was when we were too hot. We got above the 20, and even though we had quite a struggle and we had our COVID crash, which kind of gave us a down up, it ended up being support through the entire thing, because a candle that closes down and opens and crosses through on the next candle is technical support. So once we broke it, we were support all the way through the bull market. Once we start interacting with it, then we're in trouble. And that's what we've done. So there's just so many long-term bullish signals that are happening. If we get above the 20, like, we've pretty much opened the door to the bull market. Like, we're ready to go. all the way through the next thing. So yeah, very, very cool. Lots of good things happening. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, man, we're about to close a bullish candle on Ethereum. So we had a reversal last month, and then we came down and tagged the 9. Also confirmed support on this resistance line here. So now this is support, and this is a beautiful reversal. A long tail with a short top. Man, it could really go. I'm thinking we're gonna have a fun summer. That's what this is looking like. There's a lot of pent-up pressure, and you can tell that we're getting really, really tight, and things are getting exciting. Let's go take a look at a weekly. So weekly, we're just kind of pulling down in this channel, but we're back above the 20, so that's awesome. There's some good things happening here. Oh, by the way, on the weekly, we do want to be above the 50% mark of this candle, which is about 1812 or so, 1810. So as long as we can stay in the vicinity of where we are, then we're in great shape. We are possibly able to break out of this downward channel starting next week. So that would be pretty awesome. Okay, let's take a look at the daily. So the daily is interacting with the 100 right now. I still think if we came down and tagged the 50 or this bottom line here and then turned around, it would produce quite an awesome inverted head and shoulders, which could be pretty powerful. So it doesn't, I don't mind seeing this pullback, and it's sort of, following along with what Bitcoin's doing, but the bottom of this line is sitting at 1825-ish. So 1,825. That would be that'd be probably the bottom range of what we want to see on this pullback. And our 50 is sitting at 1820. So that's kind of our target area. I know we got pretty ugly when we lost the 100 last time, but now that we've regained it, I think it's lost a lot of its emotional power. So if we slip below it, it'll probably not be as intense. But yeah, we still have our 200 way below us. We've got lots of time for this thing to turn around. So yeah, Ethereum and Bitcoin are both looking pretty good. We're just in that kind of holding phase. We're just waiting for things to really break out. All right, that's a pretty good analysis of these. Yeah, I really like that the monthly, whatever monthly close we get, this is most likely going to be a very bullish close for Ethereum. Okay, let's go look at some of these other things that you guys were asking for. I'm going to scroll back up. Let's see, can we look at Cadena and Flux? So Cadena, I don't think it's one I'm tracking. Let's see. Guess it trades on KuCoin, huh? Let's go look. Keep in mind, a lot of these have been struggling. We've had a pretty brutal bear market. Yeah, not a lot to say. Not a lot to say. Wow, that is a sell-off. This thing was back at $22, $25, and we're at 58 cents. I mean, to be honest, there are times when you'll find a coin like this where it pulls off, and then it just has the biggest hype cycle on planet Earth, and then it just pulls back like crazy, and there can be a follow-up hype cycle. People remember these days. They think it's coming. When the coin starts moving, people can pile on. I would be a little nervous to buy it right now. I mean, I'd be probably waiting for an exit of the red zone or something. At least that'll give you a month or two of some kind of an upside. Right now we're rejecting pretty hard off of the 50 still. I don't think it'll last forever. And in this case, we may be establishing a higher low. A lot of these altcoins are doing this, where we've established a really strong selling climax, and then we've pulled up a bit, and if we can get a higher low, that'll be an indication of a change in momentum. So we're getting closer. You know, it has broken the 20, so there is a little bit of support at the very most basic level. But yeah, wow, what a history. This would have been a rough one to be holding, that's for sure. All right, and then let's see, Flux. That's why I like to trade coins that are a few years old. They've been through the hype cycles. And if they're still around, you know they're not a scam and whatever. It kind of gives you a little bit of confidence. All right, Flux. Yeah, it's looking pretty similar. We were trading at around $3 and we're at 45 cents. It's testing an exit of the red zone though. Last time we exited the red zone, the entrance would have given us a potential 100% gain. This was back in January when alts really moved. We kind of had a fake out when Ethereum and Bitcoin went the second time around April and May. The alts did not follow. So I'm betting that we'll get another push if we finally get here. So yeah, we just barely rejected off the 50. We're gonna come back here. If we find a higher low than this and we start curving up, in our next exit of the 50 would be a pretty awesome entry point. So Flux could be getting close as well. Not too bad. All right, let's see who else had a question. Litecoin. Calvin, the only bull left. Well, I think there are quite a few people that are getting closer. Well, I mean, the chart is bullish. I mean, it's really hard to be bearish when you look at a cup and handle on the weekly. I mean, most people need that to break before they're convinced, but they'll get there. All right, Taha was saying, yes, I was also thinking about the dump, but it will not be like going beneath the earth. I think 28.7 will be seen as, and then bye 30 range. No, if we go to 28.7, it's not like we'll dump and never see 30s again. I kind of feel like we've moved from 25 to 30 already, 25 to 31 even. If we pull back to 28 or 20, 28.7 or so, I really feel like it's just a foothold for a bullish entry. A lot of people are waiting for a pullback. Whales that are patient and traders that know what they're doing, that are dealing with a lot of money, they're nervous to buy in this range. They actually want a pullback before they can get in, which makes me feel like a lot of any dips that we see will probably be bought up quickly. And that's what will keep us above the 28,000 level and probably get us pulled back up if we ever do have an actual drop. So that's why I'm pretty comfortable holding long right now, even though there may be some, it's kind of an unknown amount of pain, but I still think long-term we're still heading up. Okay, next question was Casper. All right, I think you've asked about Casper a few times. Yeah, we were trying to get above the 20 not long ago, and we were holding the 200. Now today we've rejected off the 200 and the 20, so this is kind of falling apart again. Casper's not getting a break yet. So it's going to have to reevaluate. If we end up with a lower low than this, it's going to need a month or two before this is ready for any upside. Of course, if Ethereum decides to break out, then we're going to have an all season. Like everything's going to go up. So, all right, let's take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin's one that I'm following. Okay, so Litecoin is interesting because the halving is a month away, a month and a week. So in the past, we've usually had a pretty good run leading into the Litecoin halving, but I think it's so old and people have kind of forgotten about it that people have other shiny objects to look at. But yeah, so Litecoin is currently, it has a very well-established selling climax. It did pull up off the ground with the rest of the altcoins in January, but we have not had a full sell-off like we have in the past. So Litecoin might be strengthening. Whenever I see a chart that has a very well-established bottom with lots of consolidation, and then we pull up and then we slowly pull back a little bit, it's actually really bullish on the larger time frames. So if I go to weekly, it'll probably give us a better view into this. Yeah, look how our 50-week moving average, how we resisted it here, and then we attempted again and then broke it, confirmed it as support here, and then battled with our 200. So our 200 and our 50-month have been resistance so far, but we're slowly pulling back little by little, and we just tagged the 50 recently, and now we're in the upper range of our area over here. I could see this breaking out. Will we go absolutely vertical? I can't say, but we've spent some time here, and eventually we're going to get a golden cross. As long as we range between the 50 and the 200 for long enough, they'll start squeezing this price action, and the side to break will most likely be to the north, just based on this chart structure. Because we have consolidation here, and our lower time frames are giving us they're kind of cradling us and pulling us upwards. So the next move should be to the north. But yeah, this is a patient coin, man. This thing is just a really, really sideways coin for the past many years. But yeah, that's kind of the way that looks to me. What coin do you think will be the prize winner in the bull run? You know, it's just too hard to say. A lot of these new coins, they pump really hard and then they just completely die on their faces. So I don't know. I don't really. I guess I'm not looking for the prize winner of the most exotic coin that does the best. In my mind, is more like Ethereum. Like Bitcoin, we know is going to do well, but I still think Ethereum's going to outperform. And I'm just not looking for coins to gamble that'll do a 1000x, because there are 1,000 coins that'll lose before you finally find your 1000x. It's kind of, yeah, I don't know. Those are pretty hard to find. I have broad exposure to a ton of different alts, and when there's an alt season, I benefit, but I don't have to worry about trying to, pick the lucky one. So anyway, you're welcome, Philip. Chris wants to see Mara. Okay, let's do that one, and then we'll change gears here. I'm going to do one more thing. Mara. Miner Mara. Is this a stock? Oh. Yeah, I don't trade stocks. It's a pretty bullish chart. Yeah. This is on the weekly. Exiting the yellow zone on the weekly is really a strong move. Dang, 2020. That was nice. We exit the red zone at $2 and run to 76. That'd have been a pretty good trade. All right, let me back down and go to the daily. So yeah, the daily is looking pretty strong. Exited the red zone at $7. We're at 13. We pulled back, got a golden cross. We're trading well above our averages. We're in a green zone. And on the weekly, I know we're getting a death cross, but since our price action is above it, it is likely not to matter. This is probably heading north if you ask me. Looks pretty good. We have some really nice structure here where we've got increasing support coming up below us and a flat resistance line. And there's kind of a form of inverted head and shoulders here as well. So pretty bullish, pretty cool. I like to see that. All right, all right, here we go. First person to drop their Ethereum address in chat gets the $25. Go. Rafi0TM, man, trigger on, let's see, what is that, Twitch? Put it in Twitch. All right, I'll send you your $25 after the stream. Congrats. That's fun. I like to give away stuff, keep things interesting. Yeah, so it's been an interesting day. We've had a pullback. But man, there's been a lot of ranging. This is, yeah, we've just been kind of up and down. This is on the 15-minute chart. We've just gone complete sideways. Things are just chilling. We're waiting for our next big move. And normally when we're this high, we should be pulling back. In fact, I would have expected us to be back a little further by now, but I think we might be doing one of these things. But see, there's a difference. Back here, we were sloping upwards, and that's what made me nervous. When we were sloping upwards, that's when I feel like the market's about to drop out and that this move is exhausted. In our case, we've started high and we're sloping downwards, and that means that it's bear's turn and they are weak. And that's awesome. So if the bears have their chance to pull us back and they can't get it done, then that's when you know that the next little impulse for bulls, we're gonna have a nice breakout. And what a good breakout we will have, because we're right on a huge 2.5-year-old resistance. Yeah, if I modify this line here, this is on the daily. Extend line left. Look at this. This was resistance back here in June of last year. It was resistance most recently. We're battling it now, but look how it was support before this. There's so many little ticks of support all the way through the end of the bull market. So it was what was sort of holding us up barely throughout all of the biggest moves of 2021. That was our line. And then obviously we haven't touched that before since the prior all-time high was here. So this was the first time we really interacted with this. And so this line came into being January of 2021, and we are battling with it. Like we're all over the place. When this breaks, it will be just so big. Oh man, the people that are waiting for 10,000 to happen or 15,000 to happen, they're just, I don't know what they're not looking at charts. They have to be looking at fundamentals or something, which I don't know where those fundamentals would come from. They must be just in a place where they're drinking the Kool-Aid from some influencer, because I just don't see it. The only guy that I ever saw that was really bearish was a guy named Capo or something, and I guess he went quiet and he was like, I don't know, something happened. He was convinced that we were going down and preached that for a long time, and I guess ignored the chart and ignored all this stuff thinking it was still going down. And yeah, he just never had that self-reflection moment. You know, you can get lucky a few times, and then you think that you're smarter than the chart. But when I'm looking at a chart like this, it is crazy bullish. And if there was a place where I'd be nervous or things would fall apart, we would need a change in momentum to the downside. So you have a lot of time. If we really were going to hit 10,000 or something, there would be a lot of time. First of all, we would hit a lower low than this, and then we would end up with a lower high than this. And that would be our first inclination that there was a trend shift. And then we'd be looking for something to head down. But, you know, man, it's not happening. We've got higher highs and higher lows happening all the way through here. And then you look on fundamentals, and the things that will cause price to move are the things that are powerful in drivers. Like, you know, the majority of the financial institutions climbing all over themselves to do a spot ETF. That is unbelievably bullish. Like, I don't know who on earth would be shorting Bitcoin when we're dealing with stuff like that. The last I heard on that is that there's a potential, the first time that could potentially be approved is first or second week of August. So that means that July could be a buy the rumor party. So if we're going to break out, it could definitely be happening in July. July could be a fun month. So anyway, I'm patient. I'm waiting. I've got all of my longs ready to go. Yeah, Barbarian's asking if I'm holding ETH, and I am. I have a nice position in Ethereum. My buy entry point was at 17, so that was down here. It was this moment when we were just hitting this resistance and it flips to support. This is my long entry, so I've been holding it for a while, and I totally expect it to go up a lot. And we haven't talked about Ethereum's fundamentals for quite a while, but yeah, there's still 3.5 million more Ethereum staked than when we started this Shanghai thing. And yeah, just slowly adding more and more. It's pretty cool. And the burn is still going. We've burned 280,000 Ethereum. It's kind of leveled off most recently. But yeah, when things heat back up again, more burns will happen, supply will decrease. It's just good stuff. What do you think Kadena is going to do? We just barely did that. You'll have to rewind. But nice to see you, Jesse. And Pascal, hello. All right, guys, I guess that's about it for today. It was a pretty good session. We got to talk about a lot of good stuff. I guess maybe we could just hit a couple of quick fundamentals. Ethereum is still getting completely rocked by Bitcoin. Ethereum is just not holding up versus Bitcoin. But the time to be all Bitcoin was up here. Now that we've pulled back this far and we're starting to get a little more volatile, do you see how we've got these wicks up and down and green and red? This move's about exhausted. So Ethereum's going to start outperforming Bitcoin again, and I'm wondering if it'll happen when the next breakout starts happening. So watching that very carefully. Bitcoin dominance continues to climb. We're way up there, almost 52%. If I go to Bitcoin dominance on the monthly, like we're reaching for the stars here. Our first resistance could be 53, so we could almost be there. That's also where we'll interact with our 50 moving average. So that's on the monthly, so that's pretty wild. But yeah, when things unravel, they unravel. So we'll wait and see. But we have seen this. We've seen this before. So that's pretty cool. And then we have seen a pretty strong move with alts getting up, trying a resistance. We may have a inverted head and shoulders coming up soon. So we're watching that. The total market cap, we've pulled up above our prior resistance. We're coming back for support. All of our averages are now sloping upwards, except for, I guess, the 100's a little bit flat, but things are really starting to heat up. We have some awesome stuff coming. Yeah, so anyway, the hardest part of trading is being patient sometimes. I've got some long positions that I've been sitting on for quite a while, and they're starting to pay off, but they'll really pay off once we break out. Okay, guys, I'm going to send some Ethereum to our good friend Rafi Zero Tum. And thanks for everyone being here. I really appreciate it. It's fun to have some support, and it's fun to talk about stuff that I'm interested in with people that are also in the same boat. So that's cool. You'll have to join us on chat at cryptoinfluencers.com and check out all of that. But other than that, I'll let you guys go. You guys have an awesome one. Sorry for not doing a video yesterday. I just got too busy. I figured we'd just cover everything today. So, all right, you guys, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.